What's up, YouTubers? TGR Sim here. It's Larry. So I'm checking out the Ride2, and I'm looking at the new 2017 Superbike DLC that they rolled out here. Actually, it's pretty sweet list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bikes. We got Husqvarna. That's a Vitapelin 401 Aero. I hope I pronounced that right. It's not a very fast bike. It's a cafe racer, 44 horsepower, based off of a concept they had and introduced in 2016 that I saw. But yeah, pretty cool looking cafe racer at that, based off the KTM 390 Duke. And like I said, it's like 44 horsepower, I believe is what it was. 6-speed tranny. So you get on the ZX10. That's another cool one there. So the ZX10's just like any of these other sport bikes or super bikes these days. They got the quick shifters now built in, which back when I was doing track, you had to buy your own quick shifter from Dynojet and do that, and it only worked upshifts, you know. So these actually work bidirectional, upshift and downshifting quick shifters. They got ABS, they got traction control, they got electronic engine brake control, launch control, cornering management systems. I mean, they got it all. So, I mean, it's, you know, instead of using your right wrist for traction control and controlling your bike, you got all these little, I mean, you basically got almost MotoGP level into something you can buy yourself off the showroom floor. So it's pretty amazing how much safer they're making these bikes for people. So, but yeah, this is should be. I don't have the horsepower number on it though, but it should be around 200 horsepower, I believe. Let's look at the. Excuse me, fighting the cold here. So we got the CBR1000 SP2. That's another sweet ass bike. So that one's, you know, same thing. All the electronics, all the traction control, launch control. Did I say launch control, ABS, and all that on there, as well as, actually I saw some interesting video on this one. So you can dial in your suspension settings by plugging in your laptop to the ECU and just simply hitting the plus or minus key on it to dial in more braking or more cornering or, you know, whatever you need. So you almost have your own crew, you know, a one-man crew out there running track days on this thing. So it's pretty revolutionary there how they're doing that. So obviously you can't max everything out because it'll, you know, probably wouldn't work right, but pretty neat how they're bringing everything together now. But yeah, O-Link suspension, even the TTX 36 rear shock, which is what I used to run on my bike, my 2007 GSXR 1000 for a few years. So I don't know about the damper. I guess the damper's on there as well. They usually have a little, kind of like what was it, the little Scott's damper type damper on the center of the forks. So yeah, we'll see. So GSXR 1000R. Of course, I'm a Suzuki fan. Had two of them. Had a 2002 GSXR 1000. Had 2007 GSXR 1000. That one I tracked out, and that's when I started track junkie racing. Had several CMRA racing people that I sponsored, and it was a lot of fun. So I did that for about 5 years and got out of it. But I've always been into bikes, been riding bikes since I was 11 years old, and I'm 45 now. So yeah, bikes are definitely a big part of my life. But yeah, this bike's actually nice. It's the 1000R. So Suzuki came out with a nice, not just like a slight iteration like they've been doing. I mean, I always say when you buy a bike, say you pick, like in my case, I had a 2007. Well, the bikes, Suzuki's didn't really get that much better after 2007 until right now, until 2017. It's like 10 years before it got, to, in my opinion, good enough to trade in what you got. Because I mean, you could run circles around people on the latest and greatest bike with a 5-year-old bike easy, as long as you had the talent to do it. So, and horsepower is not everything. So, but you know, a lot of times it takes a while, and especially when they're controlled so much with emissions and stuff, and having to work their way around all that as far as getting horsepower out to the bike. So I haven't found a horsepower number released on this one, on the GSXR1000, but I would suspect it's going to be around the 199, 200 horsepower range, because it's supposed to compete. And actually, I've seen some reviews that it's feels stronger than the BMW S1000RR, which that's 199 horsepower. So should be on par. And again, traction control, launch control, all the modes, easy select modes on there. The R has the Showa suspension on it, which is pretty cool. Brembo brakes, quick shifter up and down. I mean, you hardly even need a clutch nowadays. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. Super Duke. Now that is a Street Fighter bike if I've ever seen one. So it's just nasty looking, man. Just 1290 Super Duke. This is like, I think, around 100 and, I want to say 170 horsepower is what it was supposed to be. So yeah, 170 horsepower, and got all the bells and whistles on it as well. So just a nasty little Street Fighter bike on there. So I like the KTM stuff. It's pretty sweet. So let's look at the last one here, the Ducati Panigale Super Legra. I'm sure I botched all that up. $12.99. But that one, believe it or not, that one is a 215 horsepower bike, and which Ducati came at it again now, really coming out swinging. I mean, you got a carbon fiber subframe on there, and everything's track oriented, all the same suspension type bits that you would want in a track bike. I mean, this is a race bike, just ready to go out. So it's pretty badass. But yeah, it runs 11,000 RPM, 215 horsepower. So it's a beast of a monster. But anyway, for this little test drive here, we're gonna do the Suzuki, and let's just run a quick lap, quick moves, quick race. Nürburgring. I want that one. Let's see, chase track. Let's see if I can do a shorter track. Mola. I don't know. Donington's fine. Boom. Got some nice LEDs on this. And the neat thing about this game, you get to see what the bike looks like. But they even have the tank pad on there. That's funny. Which would be an option from the dealership. I like how they actually made the rear sets and stuff red, black with red bits on there. So that's pretty badass. Alright. That red bar end's on there too. Put my traction, I put it on low. I don't know what I have them set at. I think probably medium. Ooh, it's a beast. It's a beast. Laying them blackies. I haven't played with this bike but maybe about 5 minutes, so bear with me if I'm sucking. I do got stock tires on it. But even nowadays, sport bikes come with some pretty badass tires. Definitely, I see a lot of people on the street like, oh, I gotta go get the new Diablos, Corsas, and for their street bike, and they still got chicken strips on the sidewalls of their tires. It's like, what are you doing, man? Just stick with your street tires, wear them suckers out, get used to your bike first, and then move on up to the next, to a different set of tires and see how you like them. But learn your bike on what you got. So, of course, the street isn't a place to be hanging curves. Never shot that puppy, didn't I? Ooh, it's a wheeling ass bike, boy. Oh shit, wheelie too much. I pulled back on the stick a little bit there on accident, so. Rewind feature, that's something that'd be nice in real life, wouldn't it? Backing it in, that's called backing it in there, folks. Oh shit, get off the throttle. Slow down. And need some, get a higher intensity wheelie control on this one. Neat thing about this one is if you get past, like you play on the Nürburgring or something with a long straight and you slow down and the bikes fly past you, it scares the crap out of you because, man, they just zoom past you. Sounds badass. Especially if you're in helmet cam mode, you're not really expecting it, you know. But yeah, this Ride 2 is just an amazing game. And the best thing that happened that was out in the past, on PlayStation, it was Tourist Trophy, which any bike enthusiast has played that. And I think you could only have like 4 bikes on the track at one time. It's retarded. It's got a helmet cam view here. Whoa, slow it down, slow it down. We're gonna rewind on that one, okay? Let me get my bearings on helmet cam here. Okay. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. There we go. Now we get it turned in. Look at him looking over at me. What's up? Let's run him. This is that R1. That's a badass bike too. Yamaha makes some beautiful bikes. They are uncomfortable. Now the Gixxer, I like the Suzuki's probably my favorite because it's a bike you sit in. You're not sitting on top of it, as opposed to like that R1 there. It's out on 2017 just the other day, and it looks freaking badass. I mean, it's by far the best looking leader bike out there for me. Besides the Ducati 1299, it doesn't beat that as far as looks, but the Ducati's more simplistic. It looks, god dang it, it looks badass, but it's still simplistic enough that it's not over the top. Where the Yamahas have to kind of go a little bit over the top with extra cuts here, extra lights there, just to make it look even cooler. But yeah. Gosh darn it. I will get. Whoa! There we go. I'm not rewinding that one. That was too freaking cool. Down to 15th place, but oh well. Just got mowed over. Like I said, I've only played with this bike for about 5 minutes, so does not want to change directions very easy. Which is about like leader bikes are. They don't change directions very good. I don't know, I haven't rode a 2017, but at least in my experience with leader bikes, the older models, they don't change directions very quickly. But the direction they're going, they do that very fast. A little too fast in this case. Jeez, you would think I would learn how to ride this thing by now. It's a little bit on the brake too much. You gotta really watch the brakes on this thing. I'm already on the brake. I think with this rewind feature, I don't know that I get full control just right away. I think I am. The guy's following me. Stalker. Oh. That wiggle, boy, just trying to get that traction down. Alright, so that's a look at this Gixxer 1000 2017. And I hope you enjoyed this. I'll have more to come. on Ride 2 with some of the other bikes too. So till then, we'll catch you next time. I'm out.